Hello Auntie viewers! Today is the day that I'm finally going to talk about Harry Potter. I keep putting it off because I knew this video was coming. The theme today is to talk about our favorite book series and why it was so important to us. So I have a couple others that I could talk about, but Harry Potter is the overarching major forerunner for most important book in my life. I've got a lot of videos online that talk about this topic, but I'll just go back and go over it again in case some of you haven't seen those other videos. Harry Potter was one of those books that I didn't read for a while. Some of my friends were reading it, and like I said, I'm not super into fantasy books, and I thought this was a fantasy book, and so I sort of like teased them, like, oh, it's so dorky, oh, giant chess set, real cool, and I didn't read it. And then when I was 12 or something, I was actually down in Portland for a funeral because my aunt died of leukemia, and it was very sad. But I was talking to one of my other aunts, my Aunt Lila, and we both are readers, and we always bonded over our love of books and reading. And so every time we got together, we'd talk about what we'd read recently and what we wanted to read, and we'd swap favorite books and stuff. And she asked me if I'd read Harry Potter. And I just rolled my eyes and I was like, no, I'll probably, whatever. Isn't the movie coming out soon? I'll just go see that. And she was furious with me. She sat me down and she was like, Christina Horner, you need to read that book. If you go see that movie before you read the book, I'm going to be very disappointed in you. And so I was like, oh, fine. But Lila had never really led me astray before with books, so I went home and I borrowed my friend Heather's copy of The Sorcerer's Stone, and I started reading it, and I don't think I stopped reading it until I was done with the first book. And then I had my mom buy me the second book, and then it was almost Christmas, so then I asked for the box set. At the time there were only 4, so I got through Goblet of Fire for Christmas, and I read it so fast. And that was sort of around the time that I was in middle school and friends were changing, and you never really knew what it was going to be like at school. It wasn't always a fun time because of fights and just growing up stuff. And so because of Harry Potter, because I didn't have the next books because they weren't written, that's when I really started utilizing the internet. And I went and I found fan sites of other people who'd read the books that were waiting, and fan fiction, and there was like this trading card game that you could play online with like having these little banners on your website or whatever. And that's what definitely snowballed me into doing all the things that I do today on the internet. And so it's all, I mean, Harry Potter was there for me in a hard time when there was a death in my family, and it got me through middle school, but it's also so impactful because of it opening the doors to what you can do with the internet and the kind of content you can create when you're passionate about something. And so more so than even just loving this book opened so many doors for me, and that's why it's so important. And so many of the friends that I have today are because of Harry Potter, but most of you guys probably know that, so I'm preaching to the choir. But I'm wondering if Harry Potter did something similar for you in your life, or if there's another book that had a similar effect on your life, because Harry Potter isn't the only thing out there, obviously, that has this magical power of bringing people together. It's just what happened to be there when I needed it. So I'm curious what other things have done that for people, whether it was a TV show or another book or a club or something like that. Let me know in the comments below. And that's it. Thanks for watching, and until next time, it's game over.